Good evening, everyone. I am Vishnu Jagtap, and in front of all of you, I am presenting the Wall Street Journal newspaper headline. So, first of all, China loosens COVID restriction has public anger simmer. Next, OPEC Plus locks in crude output levels. Cartel option against raising production even has a price cap on Russian oil trade and distribution. Next, Iran disbands morality police, waits changing hijab law. Next, COVID aid went to hospitals that did not need the money. Next, Dow outfaces border market. Next, FTX founder cannot explain lost million. Then on page number 2, in that pay battle looms large in inflation. Next, police shoot suspect in gunfire exchange. Next, fire hits commercial buildings in Columbus. Next, carbon monoxide leak seconds 12. Next, Racon's reputation made over. Next, on page number 3, in that Florida eyes Disney deal with eager back. Next, water is wild card in Arizona project. Next, deer hunting season on track for a record. Then on page number 4, in that Lova's likely loss of number one spot will hurt. Outsize influence and economic boost to Fed if Democrats demote cautious in voters order. Next, Trump's meeting alienates some Jewish supporters. Republicans avoid criticizing Trump on constitutions. The next, FTX losses are not explained. Next, the company's founder said that he can only speculate where millions went. Then on page number 5, in that Georgia's endless election gave boost to local TV coffee. Next, attack cuts power for thousands. On page number 6, in that Ukraine says oil cap would not hurt Kremlin. Keeping price below $60 barrel would not slow Moscow's war effort, Zelensky warns. Then on page, then next, Russians methodology loot art and accident relics. Next, Poland strike fueled Kiwi NATO tension. Then next on page number 7, in that Japan to booster supplies on LNG. Next, OPEC Plus would not lift output. Next, Venezuela return brings Chevron risks. Next, China's Xi Jinping is expected to travel to Saudi Arabia and discuss energy. Then on page number 8, in that Israel official visits Bahrain to lift ties. Herzog first trip to Gulf nation comes amid concern about flagging relationship. Next, Iran ends morality police. Next, Tehran appears to be testing if it can blunt the impact of months-long protests. Next, Russian businessman is arrested in raid. Next, 4 accused of ties to Mossad executed. Next, 3 astronauts return to Earth. Then on page number 9, in that China loosens COVID curves amid outcry. Next, North Korea's powerful new missile fall short has a weapon. Then on page number 10, in that COVID aim helped hospitals. Next, on page number 11, in that you earn less than a peer. Now what? Next, 4 ways to save our home insurance. Then on page number 12, in that Spotify wrapped reveals a lot about who you are. Next, leave it up this holiday season without losing too much sleep. Then on page number 13, in that article section, artist of the bleached. Next, good times never seemed so glum. Then on page number 14, in that US looks ahead to 2026 World Cup, the American squad shows the progress and their shortcomings after advancing to the round of 16. Next, England advances to play France in the quarterfinals. The call. The college football playoff is set. Next, England's Harry Kane scored his first goal of the Qatar's World Cup. Then on page number 15, in that hype cycle winds down. It's produced some good companies, but also gave us NFT, FTX, and SPACs. Next, while Nicharagua burns, Rome fiddles. Next, free speech for all expects the little guy. Next, autonomous up to a point. Then on page number 16, in that the Twitter censorship files. Next, the micro pasta torch. Next, a Christian artist and a gay wedding. Next, Trump and the one constant in the universe. Next, the Inflation Reduction Act versus Medicare. Next, China's aggregation pursues Japan to re-earn. Next, liberty over conservative for the Republican Party. Next, against subsidizing poverty. Next, when effective altruism is not. Then on page number 17, in that the CFPB engages in legal deception. Next, hardly anyone is buying Biden's bivalent boosters. Next, how Japan can avoid Europe's energy mistakes. Then on page number 19, in that blue chips outshine S&P Nasdaq. Dow outpaces broader stock market benchmark by widest margin since 1933. The next, Credit Suisse new unit attracts Saudi. Next, recession or not, investors need lots to go right. Next, FTX bankrupt spurs global clashes. Next, Novo Nordisk botches obesity drugs launch. Then on page number 20, in that drug launch botched. Next, investors need a lot to go right. Next, Saudi eyes new bank spin out. Next, Amazon web series turn to supply chain. Then on page number 21, in that business software customers pull back. Trend causes cloudly outlook and adds to tech industries list a concern. Next, CVS test remote tech for prescription. Next on page number 22, in that media layoffs rise has pressure mount. Next, uh, on page number 28, in that UK sets higher corporate tax rate. The change brings companies higher cost but some much needed certainty. Next, blue chips outshine S&P 500. Next, bankruptcy of FTX spurs fights. Next, Istanbul's chief procurator began a probe into people associated with FTX. Then on page number 29, in that inflation does not have to be 2%. Next, for US tech, India's draft privacy bill has hidden risk. Next, poor countries feel sting of local currency debt. Then that much for today. Thanks for watching.